Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching special edition of Rajya Sabha TV on Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao with your host Kriti Mishra. National Girl Child Day in India is celebrated on January 24th every year. The day was an initiative of the Ministry of Women and Child Development in the year 2008. The objective behind celebrating the National Girl Child Day is to provide support and opportunities to the girls of India. It also aims towards promoting awareness about the rights of the girl child and to increase awareness on the importance of girl education and their health and nutrition. The government also launched the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme in 2015. It is a large-scale awareness program that aims to reduce the preference for male children and empower girls through education. It is a tri-ministerial, convergent effort of Ministries of Women and Child Development, Health and Family Welfare and Education with a focus on awareness and advocacy campaign for changing mindsets, multi-sectoral action in districts, enabling girls' education and effective enforcement of Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act. The scheme conducts activities at the district level, such as communication campaigns via radio in regional languages, SMS and social media messaging, and regular monitoring of gender outcomes. And to analyze the achievements of this scheme, I'm joined by Vedika Shekhar, Associate, Women and Child Development Division, Niti Aayog, and Rekha Agarwal, Advocate of Supreme Court of India. Welcome to Rajya Sabha Television, both of you. And Vedika, coming to you first. The objectives of this scheme, of course, they are preventing gender by sex selective elimination, ensuring survival and protection of the girl child, and ensuring education and participation of the girl child. How has Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao fared in the last 5 or 6 years?
First of all, I would thank you to have me on the show and also initiate a discussion around and what better to National Girl Child Day and Pan India. I'm seeing it's very heartening to see Desh Ki Beti tweets trending on Twitter. Government of India has time to time undertaken many initiatives and has reiterated its commitment towards gender equality. And we see a lot of initiatives in the area of education, access, better healthcare for women, nutrition, economic empowerment. And I feel like all these interventions have, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao becomes a very crucial component of this entire arena of interventions, because this really tackles the mindset and the behavioral change towards attaching more importance to girl child. And we all know that without changing the mindsets and behavioral changes towards a girl child, all the other interventions becomes meaningless. I feel that Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao has had positive outcomes in the country, and this was very well acknowledged by our finance minister last year in her budget speech. The two aspects that we have seen remarkable success, which is related to Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, is the child sex ratio and education. So let me start with child sex ratio. I'm sure you must have been, we are aware of the latest NFHS 5 data, which is showing data for the 22 states and UTs. One of the biggest concerns which has been disturbing in India has been the child sex ratio, the declining child sex ratio. And it is very heartening to see that there has been an improvement in the child sex ratio in at least 14 states and UTs. So there we have seen a remarkable success. Education, we have seen massive strides. We have consistently the gender literacy gap has shrunk, so from 55% to its 70% in 2015-16. Gender parity, we are achieving gender, and we have achieved gender parity from elementary to higher education level. Sure, the out of school, the school dropout among girls much more, but we are seeing a consistent reducing of the gender gap even in the out of school children. So we have achieved remarkable success, and we have a long way to go, but I think we must acknowledge the successes in these areas as well.
All right, let me take that to Rekha ji. Rekha ji, as Vedika was telling us that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman applauded the achievements of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao during her budget speech in 2020, saying that it has increased the ratio of cross enrollment as far as education is concerned. How has this scheme improved the balance in the realm of education for girls?
As we are aware, Kriti, that there's been a time in our country, we cannot deny the fact that the scales have been totally tilted against girls. And right from the birth of a child, I mean, where the pregnant mother and the family becomes highly, expectant of the fact that they're going to have a male child in the family who's going to carry the lineage forward. So in our country, where we've always had the patriarchal set mindset, and where it has always been preferred that if a male child is going to carry your father's name ahead, the female child has been looked down upon. We cannot deny the fact, and it's a big irony that in a country where we are having so many female goddesses in our country, and we treat a woman as a devi. We have the Navratra festivals in our country twice a year, and where we even wash the feet of our little daughters, and we always say that isme devi ma baithti hai. But when it comes to it's very easy to revere a girl child, but to provide her a proper education, proper upbringing, and especially education. Because, I'm just talking of, the girl child. Just this morning, my maidservant, and it's a hard fact that my maidservant came in the morning, and she's a Mohammedan girl. And she said, Didi, you won't believe it, that I cannot count, I cannot read Hindi, I cannot read English, but all that I know is I know how to read the namaz. That is all the education that I got, because my mother told me, she sent me to, a school where I could learn only, the Urdu speech, but I could not learn the Devanagari speech at all. So I cannot read at all what you're saying. I said, why did your mother not allow you to have proper education? She said, because her mother said, badi ho ke to tumko khana hi banana hai. So there's no need for you to learn Hindi or English or even mathematics, basic mathematics. So I think that we have come a very long way. Our mindsets have gradually changing. And when we used to, and as Vedika was pointing out, that there was a large number of dropouts, and especially girl dropouts, because ultimately the female child was supposed to only be ultimately growing up, married off, and then cook for her husband and for her in-laws. That was the ultimate goal. But I think with the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao Andolan, especially since 2015, the number of girls which are getting now higher education, first of all, elementary education, and then the Ministry of Education has rightly brought on right to education as a fundamental right. So once right to education has become a fundamental right, then that fundamental right has, under Article 14 of the Constitution, devolves both upon boys as well as girls. So when it is a fundamental right for every girl child also to get education, now we are seeing that the mindset of most family members are changing, even in the rural areas, even in the villages. And if you will recall, Kriti, that in this selfie campaign which had started in Haryana, when the Sarpanch of a small village, Bibipur, in Jind district in Hisar, he clicked a selfie with his daughter. And that set off a selfie campaign, under the Ministry of HRD and the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. So I do feel that now the mindset is changing even in the rural sector, and even in the small villages. Parents are now realizing the importance of education, sending the little girls to school, and gradually, not only from basic elementary education, even to higher education, the importance of education is being recognized. Even as a lawyer, I will say that the number of girls which are now joining the legal fraternity, is increasing day by day. Like the lawyer's profession was initially thought to be only a male-dominated field, but now the number of girls, the number of women who are coming in this area, just shows that yes, the importance of education as a fundamental right which should devolve upon both the male child and the female child is being gradually recognized. It is a constitutional right, and I think that this campaign has been very, very instrumental. It's a very simple, it's a very catchy slogan, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Yes. It's not a very long treatise. So I think that has definitely helped a lot in recognizing the worth of the girl child vis-a-vis the male child.
As you're saying that the mindset is changing, Vedika, what are the innovative interventions under the scheme that created a positive ecosystem or enabling environment?
So as Rekha ma'am pointed out, basically having improving the attaching a lot of value to a girl child, that is one thing that the scheme has targeted towards. And there are many important initiatives like having posters in your school, starting from the school. They are targeting a lot of initiatives, and bringing a lot of gender sensitivity in the classrooms, having counselors in the classrooms which understand girl-related issues, having the selfie campaign. I remember in Haryana they even started something. They are rewarding girls-only families. These are important incentives that go a long way in improving gender-related outcomes. Basically, all these behavioral-related changes that you're seeing. The selfie campaign was very important. School also having these leadership courses. There are many states which are even starting leadership courses. They are including, so even Delhi has started a leadership course. These will also inculcate a lot of leadership and confidence in the girls, which would help them in their later lives as well. Skills, even like skills related courses which have been initiated. So skills related initiatives, and in fact we see how this has converged. So importantly, this has converged with many other initiatives from different ministries as well. So you can see a Ministry of Education which is expanding the Kendriya Vidyalaya, Kasturba Gandhi Kendriya Vidyalaya, which is basically providing residential schools to women in the tribal areas where women are not able to access education, and if they don't have education, they are basically getting married. So it's like a chicken and egg story. So if you don't have education, they are getting married, and without education, they are getting married. So they are in a very convergent way tackling all these areas which are bringing about positive gender outcomes and enabling a better life for the women.
But Vedika, the onus also lies on the respective state governments. There are concerns about utilization of fund under the scheme. What's the way ahead?
So we have to understand that this scheme was initiated in 2015, and most of the funds have been utilized in towards advocacy, which is why the scheme was initiated. So it is a long way to go, but yes, there have been utilization issues, but we have to see that most of the utilization of these funds have been towards advocacy and media awareness, which is what the scheme was initiated for.
Okay, let me take that to Rekhaji. Rekhaji, how do you think that the states have fared?
I think that the states are gradually coming up, and I'd see a remarkable change in Madhya Pradesh, first of all. Haryana as well as Madhya Pradesh. Earlier, this scheme was only confined to a few states, but now it has taken over all over India. I will not be as good at statistics as Vedika is, but what I was reading on the net before I sat for this show was that now it has become widespread. It has taken on a pan-India image. And I do think that gradually that all the states, the sex ratio was in fact very badly screwed up in Haryana, Rajasthan. And this was more so in the prosperous states of our country, even in Punjab. A highly educated state, of course, not as highly educated as maybe Kerala or down south, but even states like Punjab, which is the paddy well state of our country. Even in such states, I was reading that the sex ratio was going down, and Haryana, of course, takes the cake. But now I think that it is going to, the whole country is now realizing the importance of the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao mission set up by the government.
Vedika, do you agree with Rekhaji?
Yes, I agree. I kind of agree. So the onus lies on the state government, and the onus also lies on the family. And as I said, that Beti Bachao targets right at the initiation of a girl's life. So once you start attaching value to a girl's life, half of your battle is in any case solved, and your second battle is basically education, because education is the gateway to many more opportunities. So Beti Bachao is basically looking at these two things, and they are targeting around these two areas. Once the girl child survives, she gets education, she gets exposed to many other opportunities in life, she goes and studies further. If the study is linked towards employment opportunity, which also the government is now tackling, addressing. So the family also realizes that there are benefits of educating a girl child, and this benefit is not only at the family level. There are spillover effects in the family as well. So because there are statistics and there are studies which will tell you that if an educated mother is basically a gateway to a society's progress, because she will invest her earnings and money into the welfare of the family, health and educational outcomes. So it is going to benefit the family and the society as a whole. And one of the crucial things that we can see is that from NFHS 3, which was in 2005, to NFHS 4, which came out in 2015-16, there has been a massive jump in the number of women holding accounts and using that savings account, so or using that earning. So it's literally from 50% to 55%, which is a great achievement. And I'm positive that it's going to increase further. And you can also see that spousal violence has decreased over the years, and it has considerably decreased even in the latest NFHS 5 data. Women's household participation has increased. So you see, these two interventions can have so many interconnected positive outcomes on a girl's, not only on the girl's life, but even as a society as a whole.
Okay, so basically we're talking about a paradigm shift. Rekha, do you agree that this shift has been there in India during the recent years, from women empowerment to women-led empowerment?
It has been a gradual shift. I will not say that it has suddenly happened only after the year 2015. It takes a long time for the mindset to change, as I was speaking earlier. And I think, just a minute, there is something wrong. Yeah, I said that, this has been a very gradual increase in the shift of the people's thinking. And it takes, the paradigm shift takes some time at least. And I will not say that it has happened only after the campaign has started. But yes, I do see a remarkable change in the last few years. And women empowerment, that has been the object. The object of this mission, of course, has been not only education, save the girl child, educate the girl child, but yes, make her into a fully responsible and competent citizen of India vis-a-vis the male counterparts. So I think that women empowerment, of course, has gone a long way. And women empowerment, or as I say, Mahila Sashaktikaran, has been behind the Women and Child Development Ministry. And I feel that more and more with the change in mindset over the years, it will not be a long day when we see that women are not only as equal to men, but they are in fact much further, much beyond men in every which way.
But the moot question remains about changing the mindset of the people. Vedika, in 2017-18 economic survey suggested that mere preference means that families have children until they have a son. And consequently, there were 21 million unwanted girls in India. Going ahead, how do we further break gender stereotypes and challenging son-centric rituals?
Yes. So I would also like to point out that economic survey also spoke about how we have achieved considerable progress in 14 out of 17 indicators which was related to women agency and women attitude and empowerment. So that was one thing that we really need to highlight and appreciate. Secondly, there are 3-4 things that we really need to focus on. First is more strict implementation of the PCPNDT Act. I feel like there are some loopholes at which we need to plug and tighten and have a better and smooth implementation of. Secondly, I feel that having relatable role models in the villages, it's not only just a Kalpana Chawla or a Sarojini Naidu. We need to have more relatable role models within the village that they can themselves associate with. They can see that, say for example, a woman who becomes a carpenter in the village, she's given a skill training, and within the village she becomes a carpenter, or she's doing a non-traditional work. These themselves are role models which women can, it basically aspires women to do better and get into these non-traditional, non-conventional work as well. So having relatable role models at the village level is important. Rewarding girls only families is a very important thing that we can think of. I feel that we need to really appreciate the work that self-help groups and the ASHA workers and Anganwadi workers are doing, because you can see in the pandemic they have emerged as your real heroes. So appreciating their work, making them more permanent would enable a lot of would give you more benefits in the society as a whole as well. And also, I think we need to also think about how we can empower them economically, because we see, especially during the pandemic time, we are seeing that women, the economic shocks have been much more on women than men. Almost 49% of women haven't gotten back their jobs. So we really need to think about how we should be doing that. And I feel like having better creche facilities for their children would enable women to step out of their house and start working more. So these are a few things that we can really think about. Promoting women entrepreneurs, having more skills, courses, integrate, and the national education policy is actually, the 2020 national economic policy is actually thinking about in these lines, having liberal art courses, having the integration of skill courses in the school as well, and integrating them with employment, with more employment. These are the steps in the right direction, which the government has already thought of, and we need to actually wait and see how they impact. It's going to take a long time, but I think we are taking steps in the right direction.
As you're saying that several steps have been unveiled by the government, but again, the issue is of proper implementation. Rekha ji, how do we ensure proper implementation of all these schemes for women empowerment, saving the girl child and educating the girl child?
Kriti, again, I'll go back to the same word, use the same word which I have been using since the beginning of this show. The mindset has to change. So there may be a plethora of campaigns which are started by the various ministries from time to time. And as a lawyer, if I may say so, there may be a plethora of laws, number of laws which are enacted, day in and day after. But the fact is that despite there being so many laws which in our country which are there to protect the girl child and to protect women as such, the implementation remains, a far-fetched reality, So now they're talking specifically of this law, this particular campaign of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. If I may add over here, that the reason why the mindset was so in a patriarchal mode and in a very regressive mode, the reason why most people in our country were having a very regressive and mindset and a very patriarchal mindset where education of girls was concerned was that the fear regarding the security of girls which was attached. That the moment that the girl child steps out of this so-called safety of her own four walls of her house, not to say that they are very safe inside their own houses, that is another chapter of discussion altogether, because statistics will show that, and Vedika will vouch for that, a lot of sexual outrage cases against girls happen within the confines of their own houses. But we would like to believe that our houses are very safe. But most fathers and mothers would actually think that the moment that the girl steps out, she's going to step out into the big bad world. So there's no point in getting her educated. And ultimately, of course, she only has to cook and look after her husband and in-laws. Now talking of implementation, to save that, to get the people out of that fear that where the safety of girls is concerned, the government has made so many laws from time to time, made the laws very stringent regarding the safety of girls, especially regarding any sexual outrage or sexual violence which takes place against their mind and body. But despite so many laws being there, despite the fact that the law has become much more stringent where cases of sexual violence against girls are concerned, particularly after the Nirbhaya case,
yes.
The entire definition of rape has changed in 2013 after the Nirbhaya case. But despite that, despite the domestic violence law coming into being in the year 2005, despite the fact that we have the new law which is often called referred to as POSH, protection of women from sexual harassment at workplace. So all these laws are there, but yes, the implementation is going to take a very long time. It's not that we are, we tend to become a little, despondent regarding implementation. But yes, gradually, as a lawyer who's more out in the field every day, when I step out of my home to go to the courts, I do see a remarkable sea change And I do see that the statistics are changing. People are become more confident regarding sending their girls to school, to colleges for higher education, not only in our country, but we see a large number of girls going to foreign countries for higher education.
Yes.
So of course, as Vedika said, that the idols are not only the top, but we have to see girls even at a normal level. I mean, every girl need not become a lawyer, or every girl need not become, if I may say, an anchor on a TV show, or may join the ministry like Vedika, but just what we call any other girl, and that any other girl must be an educated girl. She need not necessarily have a job. She need not necessarily be working for gain, but she must be educated so that she can become a more responsible citizen.
Yes. All right, before we end this conversation, Vedika, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will soon present the Union Budget. What is your take on gender budgeting in 2021?
So, gender budgeting is something that we have been a member of. Ministry of Women and Child has in fact constituted a gender-based committee, budget committee, and which includes representatives from all ministries, and Niti Aayog was also a member of that committee, and I have been part of all the discussions, and we have given our inputs on the gender budget, and I am hopeful that something positive should come out of it. We need to. So some states have taken it seriously, like Madhya Pradesh and Kerala. Mm-hmm. We need to make the indicators more monitorable. We need to have more sex disaggregated data. We need to have a monitoring unit, basically. So we can have a gender-based budget, but without proper data and without proper monitoring to see the baseline and then the midline and how it is eventually impacting gender-related outcomes, your entire exercise becomes meaningless.
Yes.
So yes, we need to have monitoring indicators, which we are kind of working towards, and monitoring its implementation. That's most important. And having programmatic sex disaggregated indicators within the budget, that would really help in enabling better outcomes towards gender.
Absolutely, you're making a very important point there that we need to have monitoring indicators. On that note, thank you so much for joining us. So as it is said, when you educate a man, you educate a man. But when you educate a woman, you educate an entire generation. That's all we have for you in this edition of Rajya Sabha TV. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.